You won't believe what happened when a nurse broken by life whispered her pain to a man in a coma, only to discover he wasn't asleep at all. He was awake, listening, and he was a billionaire. It began on a rainy Tuesday. The kind of gray, dripping morning that seeps into your bones and lingers in your chest like sadness you can't name. Inside the ICU at St. Andrew's Hospital, fluorescent lights flickered, machines beeped steadily, and footsteps echoed off sterile tile floors. Nurse Emily Harper had just ended a double shift, but there was one last patient she always checked on before she left, room 406. John Doe, they called him. No ID, no visitors, no history. Just a man with a scar over his eyebrow and an oxygen mask on his face. The report said he was in a coma. Emily would pause by his bedside every evening. She didn't know why, but something about him, his stillness, his quiet, felt like safety. That night, something in her broke open. "I don't know why I keep doing this," she whispered, her voice trembling. "Taking care of people when no one's ever taken care of me." She looked down, clutching his hand gently. "My mother passed last week. I couldn't even attend the funeral. I was covering the night shift. For what? Minimum wage and a tired back." She laughed bitterly, then bit her lip to stop the tears. "It's funny, talking to someone who can't hear me, but maybe that's what I need. Someone who doesn't talk back, someone who just listens." But someone was listening. The man in the bed wasn't unconscious. Not entirely. Not since the second night. He had woken up slowly, quietly, unsure of who he was or why he was there. All he knew was the warmth in her voice, the honesty in her pain, the way she spoke like no one had ever really listened to her before. So he stayed silent, listening, healing. He had nothing else, no memory, no name. But her voice anchored him. Every night, Emily returned. Sometimes she'd read old poetry books. Sometimes she just sat in silence, the hum of machines filling the room. And sometimes, when the days were especially hard, she poured her soul out to the man who never spoke. Then came the night she nearly didn't show. She stumbled in with a bruised cheek and tear-streaked face. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "I had to walk home. My car broke down and someone tried to—" She shook her head, her voice cracking. "It doesn't matter." She held his hand tighter. "I just needed to be near someone who doesn't ask for anything. Someone who lets me be weak for once." That night, something shifted. The next morning, Emily entered room 406 to do her usual checks, and froze. His eyes were open. "You?" she whispered, heart thudding. "You're awake?" He blinked once, slowly. And then he smiled. The hospital was abuzz within the hour. The mystery coma patient had woken up and was beginning to remember pieces of who he was. But what shocked everyone was what came next. 3 days later, men in black suits arrived. A limousine waited outside. The patient, whose real name was Marcus Langston, wasn't just any man. He was the reclusive billionaire CEO of Langston Dynamics, presumed missing after a plane crash over the Rockies. News vans camped outside the hospital. Reporters swarmed, but Marcus had only one request. "Get me Nurse Emily Harper." She was on break when a security guard found her, holding out a hand. "Miss Harper, Mr. Langston would like to speak with you." Emily walked into room 406 slowly, unsure of what to say. The man who had once lain silent now sat upright, IVs removed, dressed in a tailored jacket someone must have brought in. His eyes lit up when he saw her. "You saved me," he said. She laughed awkwardly. "I think the machines did most of the work." "No," he replied, voice firm. "You brought me back. You didn't know who I was, but you talked to me, read to me, cried beside me. You reminded me what being human felt like." She swallowed hard. "I didn't do it for that. I just—" She looked away. I was just tired of being invisible. You're not invisible anymore. What happened next changed everything. Marcus funded a foundation in her name, the Emily Harper Kindness Initiative, dedicated to supporting nurses, caregivers, and underappreciated frontline workers. The hospital got a new wing. And Emily? He offered her the job of a lifetime, chief care officer at his company, overseeing wellness programs for thousands of employees, ensuring no one ever felt as alone as she once did. But that wasn't the most powerful part. The most powerful act of kindness came when he visited her apartment a week later. With no cameras, no suits. Just a man with flowers. You said once you didn't know why you kept caring when no one cared for you, he said softly. Let me be someone who does. She stood there, frozen, breath caught in her chest. Are you saying? I'm saying you gave me a second chance at life, he replied. And I want to spend it making sure you never feel alone again. Tears welled in her eyes. She reached for his hand, the same way she had all those nights in room 406. Only this time he held it back. So viewer, can you imagine how she felt? Going from unseen to unforgettable, from lonely to loved, all because of a few whispered, words spoken in kindness, words she thought no one heard. It's a reminder to us all. You never know who's listening. You never know what your kindness can awaken in someone else. If this story touched you, take a moment to like, comment, and subscribe. Share your own moment of unexpected kindness in the comments. We read everyone. And if you're ready for another story that'll make your heart race and your eyes tear up, stay tuned. The next one might just change how you see the world, because kindness doesn't just heal, it transforms. And sometimes it even wakes billionaires.